Okay, these are the top 5 things that kind of helped me go from a noob in solo squads, battle royale, to a pro. So these things are all going to be super simple. They're going to apply whether you play claw or whether you play thumbs. But yeah, these are just going to be the tips that helped me the most. Okay, number 1 is going to be an aim assist tip. It's to do with rotational aim assist and the way that works on mobile. I have full in-depth videos on sensitivities and that sort of stuff if you want more in-depth look at exactly how to set up your sensitivity, but this is just a quick tip that's going to help your aim assist, especially if you're a 4-finger player. It's super simple. All you're going to do is go to your ADS settings and change it to hybrid. So this means you can tap the ADS button or you can hold the ADS button. So you can do one or the other. So basically this means when you're in shotgun fights, you're going to tap it. And when you're in long to medium range fights, you're going to hold the ADS button down. Holding the ADS button down gives you extra aim assist, as you can kind of see in that fight there. So yeah, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is think about cover, not winning gunfights. So instead of thinking about, oh, how do I get this kill? How do I shoot this person? Think about, am I in cover? Can I be shot? That's what you want to think about when taking a fight. Because, you know, you spend the whole time in the game aiming and shooting at people. That's what you get the most practice at. But most new players don't often think about, can the enemy shoot me? And obviously that's the most important thing, right? Because you die so quickly, so you never want to put yourself in a situation where you can just be beamed. So like you kind of saw in that video there, I just stayed behind cover that whole fight, and it always gave me the upper hand because the other enemies left their cover, which immediately gives me the advantage. So you'll see in this next clip as well, I straight go for cover and I stay in cover. I now have the advantage because look, now they've moved out of their cover, giving me the advantage. So it just makes it really easy for me to use my ability and beam them, because obviously I have the cover, so I have Pika's advantage. So yeah, that's number 2 tip, is just make sure you're using cover to your advantage. Think about cover first, not getting kills first. Tip number 3 is a real general one, but honestly, people make the mistake all the time. Use Hipfire. Hipfire is so OP, you have better movement speed, you can see what's around you. Not enough people use Hipfire, especially if you just play with thumbs. By default, your gun's always going to aim in, but just make sure you're using Hipfire, especially for shotguns. It's a lot better, so yeah, make sure you're using Hipfire effectively. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to know when to take a fight. So the first thing is, do you have cover? In this example, yes, I've got plenty of cover. There's rocks, there's trees, there's that little van. The next thing we're going to talk about is, do you have the advantage? So before I landed, there was a 2v1 happening. So if I drop in, they're already all taking damage. I have cover, they didn't. I have the advantage. So do you have the advantage? Is there cover? They're the first 2 things to consider. And then the third thing to consider is, what power are you using? I love using shockwave. So for me, that means I need to make sure that there's lots of cover in a close proximity so that I can throw people out of cover, like in that example there. So it depends what power you use, but that's the third thing to consider, is what advantage does your power give you if you're using Quick Strike or Ninja? Is there a roof I can get to? If you're using Defender, is there a good place to place my Defender? You know, take that into consideration. Think about how your power gives you the advantage. And then the last thing is just kind of a little tip, not really in like my top 5 or whatever, but it's just don't always use meta weapons. So here I'm using a KRM and an AK-117, pretty much the most meta weapons you can use in the game right now. But I would encourage you, if you're trying to get better at the game, don't use meta, because a lot of the times you'll win a fight using these weapons just because the guns are better. And it won't really teach you about repositioning, about using cover, any of those sort of skills. Whereas if you use a gun that's bad, you're going to have to work a lot harder to get a kill, and it's going to teach you more about each fight. So that would be, yeah, almost one of the biggest tips, is use guns that are kind of bad, just because it's going to make you better at all the rest of the things I already mentioned in the video. Yeah, thanks for watching, but yeah, leave a comment, let me know what other tips and tricks, style of videos you want to know. If you want to know anything about my HUD or my settings or anything like that, yeah, drop a comment, and I'll keep making videos that you guys want to see. YouTube kind of tells me what you guys are watching on YouTube, And this was definitely a recommended video. So yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see and I'll make it.